What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Trouble back with another video. How you guys feeling my wings right now? Because I was kind of on the fence about getting them, and then I decided last minute to get them. I spent a lot of gold, didn't really want to, but we really needed the speed ups and the other things that came along with it. So, kind of explaining why people go for these things. There's a lot of rewards involved in whenever they spend smart. So some people will say, "Oh, well, only spenders and no, no strategy." There's strategy in everything. There's strategy in spending. There's strategy in grinding. I'm a spender grinder. Me and my castle partner, we sit on this castle and grind all day long. Like we discuss, everything. We talk with many of our alliance members on what we can do better. A lot of our alliance members are very smart. They have a lot of tricks. They have a lot of tips. They help out in many ways, especially people like Breaker, Nitzy, Mama Kunk, many others. They bring a lot to the table as far as helping out in all aspects of the game. And it's crazy how much you think you do know, but you really don't. And if you let that sink in for a second, it really makes sense. But I chose this combination because it matches a lot. It really goes well. I'm not really a fan of the color of the wings, but whenever you match them with a skin like this, it looks really good. So, but what we're going to be, without further ado, what we're going to be talking about today is equipment. I really wanted to make a video about 242 KVK. Now, the reason that I didn't was because it was just basically a lot of catapult fights, a lot of running. We would set a rally, they'd run, or they'd set a rally, they'd cancel. It really wasn't a lot. They actually caught one of our castles, I guess. I don't even know which one they caught, but they did hit it for a little bit of power, but we blew them out of the water. Not a huge fan of Faraz the Devil. I'm not really a big fan of him because I've actually played in that kingdom before, and I've been in his alliance. It's a lot of personal things, but if you're from Kingdom 242 and you're watching this video, please next time try harder. I think we do have Faraz the Devil for Mineral Vein, so that should be kind of interesting. I don't know. I really want a KVK where it's a lot of melees and a lot of back and forth battles and stuff like that. Here lately, it seems like there's a lot of catapult battling and a lot of pull from this catapult, send into here. It's not a lot of defense and a lot of offense attacks and stuff like that. So, anyways, let's get on to the video. We're going to be discussing about equipment, gems, how to place gems, how to, what equipment goes best on what heroes to use and where, things like that. Now, I'm not saying that I am the smartest person at doing this. There are definitely better ways and there's definitely better equipment. I'm just letting you guys know what I do. I don't spend on science speed anymore because my science is pretty well maxed out. I don't spend on like resource gathering, stuff like that, because I've got farms for that. But I do worry about hospital capacity, governor, things like that, defense, and what I like to call them, troop specialist heroes. So let's check this out. Let's see where we're gonna place these gems and whatnot. One second. Give me 1 second. Alright, so we're going to start from the top. Governor, construction officer, research scholar, gathering officer, resources scholar, Doctor, blase, 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 blase. So this hero, I'm just gonna call him Sudoku. I don't know what his name is. All these weird names. They could call him Steve. They could have given him regular names, but instead they gave him weird names. So I'm gonna give him my own names. So Sudoku, this one right here is the one that I use for my governor, and the reason is because he gives a little bit higher rally capacity. Now, I know that if you use the other governor that's recommended, you can get a better marching speed, a better troop load, and it says here non-rally max march, but I doubt that that's gonna be a higher one than Sudoku. So this one, you know, he gives, I think he gives also a little bit better. No, he don't give a better embassy. I checked out the statistics once before, and I think that it was only marching speed and troop load increase that helped him out, and maybe trap building speed, something like that. But anyways, this governor right here does really well as far as giving you a higher rally capacity. A lot of the larger players use this. He's amazing. I didn't think that it was going to help out that much, but he's actually helped out a lot. So if you're wanting to do that, if you're wanting a higher rally capacity, that's one way. I'm gonna show you a few ways to do that in this video, as well as, you know, where to place the gems as well. Construction officers, I use these two. These two, I think they're just the recommended ones. Research, I think those are the recommended ones as well. Gathering officers, I think those are recommended. Resources, I don't even know if those are recommended or not. I don't think that they are. I just have some random equipment on them, and I checked it out, and those gave the highest stats, I guess. Doctor, so these two right here I chose for a specific reason. They've got a gold one that's recommended for this, but I don't use him. I use these two because they give better statistics as far as higher hospital capacity. Now, I do use the gold one's skills as far as hospital capacity, stuff like that. Whenever I am taking like a big rally, or I know that there's a bunch of melees coming in and I could be the victim of a rally. So I do use those skills, but I don't use that governor on my wall. Or I mean that hero on my garrison. So if you notice here, it says increase hospital capacity. That's going to be a percentage. So the percentage is going to be what mainly works right there. And then whenever you go down here and look at these two heroes, these are the recruitment officers, but if you have them both in both slots, you have the hospital capacity right there, and that's not on a percentage, that's on a total amount. So those are going to be very important differences right there further on in the video. I do use these two heroes for dual purposes, and the reason is because I want to, I don't like to change a lot of skills. I want to be able to do things on the fly and stuff like that. So as far as their attributes, I've got them aimed at hospital capacity and training speed. Or yeah. And then you got civilization. You're definitely going to want to use one of these two heroes. So whenever I'm in development and I want to gather and stuff like that, I use this hero. And whenever I am doing civilization research, I use her. Then you've got the infantry commanders, which are troop specialist heroes, I call them. Some of these stats you're only going to be able to use certain equipment and certain gems on. So I will explain those gems and those equipment in the video. Make sure that you stay tuned. Guardian Knight, that's obvious. I use either Shield Warrior or Selma, but that's because I defend against big rallies. Now, if you're in a pinch, you don't have, both of those maxed out or something like that, I would recommend a good defense is the best offense. So if you're joining rallies, you definitely want to keep your troops safe. You don't want to fight today and screw tomorrow. you want to fight forever, you know. So keeping your troops safe. So I would, if it was me and I was joining a super rally and I was weaker, I would join a super rally with like my secondary hero, and I would use my main hero on my wall. Just for the simple fact that you're not going to be a likely target to get zeroed. You could probably handle one solo hit, or once your light flashes, you're not going to get wiped out completely. I see so many people get wiped out completely whenever they join rallies and stuff like that. And that's what I aim for whenever I'm fighting somebody. If they set a rally on something, I'm looking for the weaker ones around them to set rallies on, because their skills aren't going to be in defense. Their skills are going to be in attack, and they're most likely going to have their best hero in the march. So moving along, showing you guys my Lord equipment. Now, whenever I selected what gems to put on my Lord equipment, I selected stuff that I typically do not have, like the effect of countering infantry, all soldier units damage, stuff like that. Those gems are very important. They're more important than just using like an attack gem or something like that. So you want to use the counter gems and the defensive damage and the offensive damage and the all troops HP, stuff like that. You definitely want to give consideration to whenever you attack somebody, or whenever you think about your statistics, because if you're just thinking about attack and defense, then your game is in the mud. You're definitely going to want to start using a more well balanced attack, more well balanced attributes. So a lot of these people brag about 1700% attack, or 2000, 2100% attack, but their other attributes are lacking. You want to think about HP, damage, stuff like that. So starting from the top, we did the governor. Governor is going to be the Sudoku, and whenever I placed my gems on him, I thought about the capacity of my embassy, I thought about troop load, I thought about rally size, I thought about marching troop limit, and I thought about max march size when joining rally. Now, the ones that give me priority are going to be my max march size and my rally troop upper limit, because those are going to be more important to me. Then after that, I'm going to want to do the a capacity of the embassy, because I like to have my reinforcements. So whenever I did my skills on him, people ask why he's so important. Whenever I did my skills on him, max march size. Now, it's not cheap. It's going to cost you a lot of gold to get this far. So whenever you weigh out your benefits on it, if you're just a rally joiner or something like that, you really don't want to use all your gold into this, because then you're going to get disappointed whenever you don't get a huge rally, and you're going to want to stick with that other governor that is recommended. This one down here, what's his name? Jet Li. Anyways, you're going to want to stick with something like him. So then we have got the doctors. Now, I'm going to skip right over the research scholars and stuff like that, and the construction officers, because really I just put equipment on them and it helps out a little bit. I don't have really good equipment on them, because all my buildings are P6, and it's not really important for me to have them maxed out. If you do not have a max, if your stuff is not maxed, I would definitely recommend investing in stuff like the creators stuff and things like that. But the thing is that stuff doesn't help after a certain point. The stuff that I worked on helps me all the time. So think about that. The next one that I wanted to go into was the doctors. So This equipment right here, it gives you a percentage. It gives you a better percentage, so you want to keep this equipment on. Now, the hospital capacity gym is one that I use on here. Then that one's hospital capacity, and that one's percentage. So those are going to help you out a lot. I've got it done on that hero. This hero, I've got it done on each one of the heroes that I've got for the hospital capacity. Now, I use rebirth on those two heroes, and then whenever I go down into the other two heroes for the hospital size, I use 4 pieces of rebirth, 1 piece of archangel with the times 5 and the hospital capacity to 15,000, and then the traveler's ring, which gives you 5,000 troop hospital capacity. Now, right there, you can notice right here I didn't use a percentage. The reason that I did not use a percentage is because it would not work, the percentage gem. So I used the hospital capacity gems right there, and then did the same thing on this one. So on each one of these, on both of these heroes, whenever I do change equipment, it is to the prosperity. So whenever you look right here, I've got a gold set to put on Lord and 2 orange sets to put on each hero. And whenever I've got their skills set up for hospital capacity and soldier training, stamina recovery, I just never messed with it too much. Then I've got their skills set right here. So whenever you think about stuff like that, the reason that I do that is because I want a more versatile hero that can be used for several different things. Moving on to back to this. This is my old hospital hero. So I used to have him on my hospital, and all of his equipment, like I used this, and I used a different helmet, but like this stuff right here, it gives percentages, so it helps out a lot. That helped me out a lot as far as that I was able to maintain like a 3 million troop hospital capacity, something close to there, 2.8 million. So it wasn't that bad. But then once I got all rebirth equipment, I switched it out and used the level 25 hero. It was just much better. Moving to the troop specialists heroes. So they have 4 troop specialist heroes that are purple and 4 that are orange. The orange ones are the ones that you want because they're going to give better attributes. They're going to be the purple ones are going to give basically half the attributes at the troop level than the orange ones. So I use on the infantry hero, I use the Mars shield. Now a lot of people don't know this, but what it does is it gives +1 basic infantry HP. So if you get this hero and you want to put, I would definitely recommend to put the Mars Tide shield on. It's going to give you a better infantry basic HP. That's where that's coming from a lot. You can go up to, I think, 7 basic infantry HP is the max. So, but you lose a little bit in different areas if you go up too high. On this, I've got 2 gems. So the rest of this equipment that's on this hero is worthless. It doesn't help me out at all. It just helps me to bring up my Lord power. So right here I've got reduce the effect of being countered by infantry and improve the effect of countering infantry on these 2 pieces. Those 2 pieces right there are the only ones that are going to help me. And then the next hero is going to be the cavalry hero. So right here you're going to want to put the reduce the effect of being countered by cavalry, and then right here improve the effect of countering cavalry. So I don't have this gem yet, but I'm just waiting until I do, and then I'll put that on there. But none of these other pieces of equipment really help out as far as improving those statistics on that hero or on your stats. On this hero, you've got these two right here, which improve the effect and reduce the effect of countering siege engine. And then this is the only other piece of equipment outside of the Mars shield that's going to help out. So the siege engine offensive damage, that's actually going to bring up if you use the Archangel pendant, and you can get 3 of them, it'll bring it up. What is it? 16%. I've only got 2 of them. It's only gonna bring it up, or not 16, but 18%. Sorry, my math is stupid. But if you use this, I've got it up 12%. You can go up to 18%, and it helps out a lot as far as attacking castles, stuff like that. Your siege kills will go up a lot. On these heroes, I've got them up to level 42. Now, the reason I've got them up to level 42 is because I can't afford level 45, but I can afford level 42, and it helps out with countering and being countered by siege. So it'll help out in two areas. That's the only reason I went up that high. And I did that on these other 2 heroes as well. Going on to the wall hero. So on my wall hero, I've got all my equipment to I use Archangel. So if you look here, I've got all soldier units defense, attack, HP, that's all max 100% attributes, and the offensive damage. The offensive damage means nothing to me because it's the wall hero. He's strictly a defensive hero, so offensive damage doesn't do me any good. I just did it for the statistics and the set attributes. So right here, if you look, most of this equipment is like, as you go up, it's going to bring up the statistics to from 20, what is it? I can't remember what it is. So if you look right here, this one, 207 to offensive to 212. So if you look, it brings it up a little bit, and every little bit counts whenever you get up higher in statistics. And of course, I've got my gems. All these gems are archer damage, infantry health, all soldier units defense, which usually I'm looking for something else to put on there. Reduce the effect of being countered by siege engine, infantry health, all soldier units HP, defensive damage taken, infantry damage taken, infantry health, and archer health and improve. So none of that stuff is like, I try to stay away from the attack and defense and stuff like that. All the basic stuff that you can get with just science and everything like that, that's easy to get. I want to have a well-rounded hero. Now, if you look here, eventually I plan to change this infantry health to defensive damage or defensive damage taken. But right now it's just fine. This is what you want on base. You want defensive damage taken, or infantry health on your defensive hero. And as far as Selma goes, Selma, I keep her. She's my attack hero. Eventually I plan to take her to +8, but all of her stuff is just like on the shield warrior. Now I've got infantry basic attack because that is a offensive attribute. Now I've got another set of pants for my lord whenever I do get attacked, so it helps out a lot. And then if you look here, like I didn't use full sword on this wild swordsman. I didn't use full infantry equipment on him or her or whatever. Tell me if you think that's a him or a her. But anyways, if what I did was I'd used all but the ring, and the reason I did that is because of the pikeman. Eventually I'll reforge that, but that's not really a priority right now. my priorities right now are other heroes. I use this hero really for just joining rallies and stuff. If I could go back and unevolve this equipment and use it on something else, I definitely would. The infantry stuff is not really working that well anymore. I did it whenever I was newer in the game again, whenever I first came back, and I wanted to try to be an infantry castle. So Christina, a lot of people ask a lot of questions about Christina's equipment. Now the prestige leather boots or the queen's leather boots, I don't know why they have two different names for them, but the reason that they have these is because these are specific to the queen. Now you are not going to get the set attributes, this infantry attack or the 4-set bonus or the cavalry attack 65%. You're not going to get those attributes if you place them on a different hero or if you place them on a lord. You're not going to get those set attributes. The reason is because it's a set specifically designed for this hero. Now, I use only these two because they give me damage by cavalry and offensive damage and archer damage. So they give a decent amount of that. I use this as a third hero to join rallies and stuff, and I've got it aimed pretty well at cavalry. So I didn't put any gems on her yet because I've got better priorities right now. But yeah, you definitely want to use that kind of equipment, a mixture of Archangel and a mixture of the Queen's equipment on this hero. When it comes to Zhao is basically, I've got him up to 50. I don't plan to take him up too much higher, but the thing is that whenever you think about it, both her and him are basically the same. He's aimed more towards cavalry, but his attributes are not all that great. He's my secondary hero after Selma. So whenever I'm like sending into rallies, or if I'm rallying, I'll use Selma in my rally. I'll use Zhao in like a joining rally, and then I'll use Christina. And then if I'm joining or if I'm defending somebody or something like that, I'll use either the shield, or I mean not the shield, but the wild swordsman or the wind ranger, because archers do well in defense. But yeah, just kind of showing you guys what I do with my gems and what I do with, my equipment and my heroes. I see a lot of questions on forums about it. Most of this equipment, it's self-explanatory to me, but I can see why people have a lot of questions about it. So, whenever, like, a side note, the reason that I got the wings is because of this right here. I wanted to get a lot of speed ups, a lot of resources, and a lot of EXP. I don't spend on EXP, I don't spend on resources, and I don't spend on speed ups really. I don't think that I've ever spent on crystals on Dragon Glass, but I've got pretty much all mine maxed out. So I'm really close. You see 486 to having all of them activated in gold, purple, and orange. So I've never really spent on that, but I do spend on other things. So a lot of people say, oh, well, you say that you never spent. Well, I do spend, but I don't spend on certain things. I just know that there's ways to get that stuff outside of that, but I do this for the rewards. Now, showing you guys a couple of reports, I kind of wanted to go over this and show you guys this defense. This was the defense from earlier. He attacked me. I didn't even see a red light. I didn't know anything. I was just gathering and see, minding my own business, and all of a sudden this guy came along and attacked me. They set a really quick rally. It was crazy how fast it was. But I didn't even have any attack and defense buffs on or anything like that. I was just sitting there minding my own business. I even forgot that I was really unshielded, to tell you the truth. But a defense victory came across the screen, and I looked at my power and I was like, it didn't really change. But what it was the Kraken. They messaged me, and they after that they messaged me and we talked for a little bit. I kind of enjoy it, fighting people in sea and stuff like that, even losing a battle or anything like that. And you don't, there's no like arguments, there's no hard feelings or anything like that. It's just troops, and it's all fun and games. Like, I have friends in sea that try to kill me, like Poppy, all those guys. They try to kill me, but still in other chats, we're still friends and everything. People take this game too seriously sometimes. Now, I did defend a duel from Faraz. He dueled me with all cavalry, which was all T-13 calves. He did beat me, but he didn't beat me as bad as what I thought he would. Now, I did have all my buffs activated, so those of you that do know what a duel is, you don't get hero buffs or anything like that. So if you look right here, my buffs are a little bit lower, but I did very well against him, considering that he's a beast. But that was the only defense that I had against him. Like he didn't really, they didn't really do much. What is this? Oh no. Most of these catapult attack defenses and stuff like that, it was just a really boring KVK. But anyways, everybody, I just wanted to show you, kind of what I do as far as gems are concerned, where I garrison my heroes, what equipment I use on my heroes and stuff like that, because I see a lot of questions about it. I definitely recommend, if you invest in anything, invest in equipment and invest wisely in it. Wait for events to come along. There's plenty of events. Ask questions to your alliance members, because they can help you out on when is the best time to spend, if you do want to spend. Now, I'm not condoning spending. I'm not saying to go out and spend a ton of money. I'm not saying to mortgage your car or sell a kidney or anything like that. I'm just saying, go out, have fun in this game. If you don't want to spend, then don't spend. Just play a little bit more careful. Don't complain about the people that do spend. It's a hobby to some people. So, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Almost to 5,000 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love the support that I get. I know I don't come with videos very often, but I'm busy in real life, and I really want to find a KVK that we have where there's a lot of melees back and forth and a lot of defenses and stuff like that. That would be a lot of fun. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe. Make sure that you guys are keeping social distancing and all that good stuff, and being safe with this virus, and check on your loved ones. Thank you guys so much. Peace.